All right. All right. Are we live? Let me see. Yes, we are live. All right. Hi, guys. This is our first live broadcast. Hope you think the setup is okay. We've been struggling. It's not easy always. So, we're going to talk a lot of boxing today because, first of all, we've had the Olympics. And as you know, there's been a lot of controversy. It's been very lopsided, very one-sided in the men's divisions. We also had some great boxing. Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz was back in the ring against Bohachuk from Ukraine. Really good fight. We got some news from Turkey Al-Sheikh, and we also got a knockout of the year candidate. So I'm gonna show you all of that. But all right, so let us start off with Olympic boxing. So let's see. Hope you guys can see. You can see my video program. Here we go. I just googled Olympic boxing 2024, and yeah, Iman Khalif. She is center of attention. Very unfortunate, and of course this Taiwanese doing well over here. Lin Yu Ting, both competitors that are accused of having XY chromosome is got the gold. Not only did they win gold, they didn't lose a single round, and they pretty much toyed with all of their opponents. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I would say there's at least two girls who were unfairly robbed of a gold medal, and yeah, all the other medals as well. You can see. Okay, so if I'm gonna go through first, let's start with the lighter one, the Taiwanese fighter Lin Yu Ting. So we can see here. I gotta say, I don't know. The Taiwanese performances were. She was toying with her opponent. If you got access to the Olympics, you can see when she was boxing her opponents, she was playing around with her hands down, always like they were also carrying their opponents, both Iman Khalif and Lin Yu Ting. They were both. Lin Yu Ting, she was playing around with her hands down. She stepped in, she caught her opponent several times, and then she was just kind of playing around with her hands down, just setting traps, just playing around. This is what you do when you're very superior to your opponent. You can take your hands down, just set good traps, throw uppercuts, nice, cool punches. You can have some fun. That's exactly what she was doing for every round of every fight. No opponent stood a chance at all against her. Yeah, right. So that was, I think that was actually worse, because Iman Khalif is a terrible boxer, so her fights were still sort of competitive, even though she had that strength advantage. You can see, if you look at the fight, you can see Iman Khalif, she has her hand out here, and then she gets power to here. Women don't do that because they don't have the shoulder strength. You see, as a guy, I can really get some power in this short little distance. Women can't do that. And that played a huge difference outside of the overall physical strength. Now, their genders, I've been trying to learn a lot more about these conditions, and as far as I understood, they both have fully functioning testicles. Most girls who go through the kind of puberty, masculine puberty like these two obviously has done, they transition to becoming men. So it's very unfortunate, very unfair, and they were both prohibited from boxing, both nationally and internationally, and also the Algerian and Taiwanese officials who were working for the state official, they did not want to release the results. Probably because IOC, they were very clear also, we will not accept any test that proves that either of these two are having XY chromosomes. So they probably knew in advance that they would be allowed to compete, but don't try to question the result of the test, because if you do that, then all of that becomes public. Now it's still not public because they didn't ask for the result. They didn't want to overturn the results. So this is everybody playing dirty, and boxing is suffering. That's the result, and especially the women. Now, I gotta be honest. I don't really think the women's boxing belongs in the Olympics, because it is not very good. It is very new sport, and it's not. They got. Let me show you something here. You see, if you go to box rec, and then we go to ratings. Now I'm just gonna show you middleweight. That's 75 kilos. That would be super middleweight if that was in the professionals. So if we go to women's super middleweight and see all active fighters, and see how many serious competitors there are at super middleweight for women. And when I say serious, I would say that has more than 10 fights. They don't have a lot of losses. So more than 10 fights, otherwise you're a tomato can, or mostly wins, otherwise you're a journeyman. So let us see how many there are.
Can I interrupt you? We cannot see
Please.
the graphic at all.
Sorry, we can. Don't worry about it. Sorry, Aha, you want it on Instagram. Then let me help you all. Here we go. So, now, of course, I have to log in. I'm logged in. All right. So, let us see here. 9-2. That's borderline serious fighter. 14-1. Yeah. That's it. We got 2 serious competitors in the world at super middleweight. So let us move to middleweight, because you might say, well, 75 kilo, if you have a day in between weigh-in and fights, then that's going to be 72.5 kilos about. So let's see here. 6-0, that's a tomato can. 13-8, that's a journeyman. Tomato can, yeah. There's not a single serious, active female middleweight in the world. And still, they took up that spot for all men. This is the biggest weight class, the biggest division. This is such a tragedy. I hope the IOC never arranges the boxing Olympics, because this was terribly done. And I'm not even talking about the Olympics. I'm sorry, the teams. We did not have Belarusian teams or Russian teams. The Russian team is probably the best team in the world. And the Belarusian team, they are right behind them. Like, that's such a tragedy for the sport of boxing. And I think that's really hurt. anyways, you can see here. Let's go to some bigger weight class. Let's take super featherweight. And let's see. Well, here you see, here you have a lot of like solid resumes. So if you wanted to have a super featherweight, like at least you have, you got about 17 serious, 17, 18, something like that, serious boxers in the world as a professional. And that, to be honest, that's nothing, or absolutely nothing, but it's still someone. In middleweight, you have none, zero, zip. So, that really hurt. And we didn't get to see the Russians. That hurt so bad because the Russians are so good. And I know this is especially a light heavyweight from Belarusia, Alfiero, that weren't allowed to compete. And I really wanted to see him against the other top guys. Yeah, and instead, all the attention came on these two women, Lin Yuting and Iman Khalif. Yeah, and they were two men fighting as women, even though they define themselves as this. And in boxing, the difference between masculine and feminine is huge. Anyone who's been sparring a girl knows that you throw a jab on them and their defense, their body, everything just shatters. They don't stand a chance. And these two pretending females, they were toying with these girls. They could have knocked them out if they wanted to. I'm sure of that. They just chose not to do that. So if we go to the actual Olympics here, I mean, look at that. Uzbekistan. I mean, that's just insane. Now, China, I think all of them were women. So, yeah. And the Chinese Taipei, that's a man fighting as a woman. And Cuba, only one gold. That was now very impressive by Erislandy Alvarez. Now, I gotta say, well, I'm gonna go in through all of that, but didn't fight as disciplined as I was hoping for, and showed some flaws as well. And Ukraine, that's a disappointment, but it's a reasonable disappointment because Ukraine are at war. All of their men is probably fighting because Ukraine did not have a solid Olympic team. They pretty much only have Kushniak who won the gold. And then I didn't see anything of interest from the rest of them. And Ukraine is usually the best. Outside of Russia and Cuba, Ukraine is third. So, yeah, really sad to see that war in the Ukraine really hurt this bad. So, if we go through the weight classes, now, I'm going to be honest, 51 kilos, I had a hard time following that one because I didn't think the boxing was all that good. They are so small, 51 kilos. It's not a lot of men, fully grown men, well-trained, who tip the scale at 51 kilos. That's like 108 pounds, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, this name, that's cool. That's a cool name. Hasanboy Dusmatov. Now, this from Cape Verde, David De Pina, he solid boxer, did really well. And yeah, wait, have we not gotten this final yet? Bilal, the French guy.
That's the 4th of August.
End of Olympics. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Hassan Boy. He defeated Bilal Benema for the gold, and I got it wrong. David De Pina won bronze, so of course, he says here clearly. Hassan Boy, solid guy, but I didn't watch the 51 kilos all that much because I didn't think it was a lot of fun. But Bilal was a really good boxer. Now, 57, here we got... this is the guy who defeated the Swedish boxer. So no shame in how the Swedish boxer performed. Nabil Ibrahim. Anyways, Abdulmalik Khalakov, he fought this Kyrgyzstan fighter. That Kyrgyzstan, like he wasn't the best boxer, but very tough, put a lot of pressure on. But Abdulmalik, yes, he had it pretty much under control the whole fight. Classical Uzbek boxing, very good footwork, good fundamentals, moving, knows how to win the round. Not the most exciting fight, but yeah. And then we move over. This was a tough fight, even though 3-2. Yeah, that's French at home turf, so that's understandable that they gave it 3-2. But Erislande Alvarez is probably the best boxer of the Olympics. Now, he did fight a bit immature, I would say. I think he was loading up a lot. I think he got himself into a lot of fights that didn't really feel like... It didn't feel like he had to do that. Because he was so skilled, but he got sloppier when the opponent got better. But still, solid performance, won every fight. Close though, here at the end. This French guy, Sofiane Oumia, solid guy, good boxer. Second best boxer in the tournament, I would say, at that weight class. Had you...
Kanske gå tillbaka till old podcast istället.
Here is what it looks, just so you know.
Yeah.
And then we move over to 71. Like, this is just so painful. We lost 60 kilos, 67 kilos, 75. Oh, this hurts so bad. Anyways, we got a Mexican in the final. Marco Alonso Verde Alvarez. Lost a close fight to... Yeah, that name is... You probably can see the name here. Asadkuja Muidenkujaev. Yeah. Another Uzbek. Their names are rough. If you were to argue he's the best boxer of the whole Olympics, I wouldn't disagree. Let us see the results here. If he got all of them by 5-0. 3-2. Omari Jones, I gotta be honest, I didn't like the American boxers. I thought they were, in general, not very well skilled. I think they were athletic and they were tough, but not a lot of skills. I did not like the American boxers, but he got off a close one here. Yeah, so this Mexican guy, he'll be fun to watch in the future. He's got not the typical boxing of a Mexican guy. He's not all offense, but he is very skilled, and he had to move forward against Muidenkujaev. That's not working well. Yeah, the Mexican guy, he was very offensive, didn't manage to really get a hold of the Uzbek fighter. 80 kilos, yeah, Kushniak, he got the well-deserved gold medal. It was very close, but he was, last Olympics, he was 30 seconds away from winning the gold, and then just got caught by a good left hook. Uralbay, one of the twins, really good boxer. Yeah, that fight was really good. Could have went either way, but I think it was fair. I think Kushniak probably deserved the victory. By the way, I think he resembled Bohachuk, who we're gonna talk about later, so much. That was their whole body, everything. It was just Kushniak is a little bit got a bit wider shoulder, but that's about it. They got his zombie style of just walking forward, punching as much as they can. And then 92 kilos. Yeah, this one is not a lot to talk about. It felt like this Azerbaijan-Cuban fighter, Loren Alfonso Dominguez. It looked like he was pretty happy with the silver medal. Kind of weird because he's old, so it's kind of strange why he wouldn't really go for the victory when this is his last fight, pretty much. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna turn pro because I think he's like 38 or something. So yeah, that was a very comfortable win for the Uzbek fighter. And then 92 kilo plus. Yeah, this Spanish guy, I really liked him. I'm excited to watch him as a pro, but Bakudir Yalalov, he's probably the best heavyweight in the world today. I would have him as a favorite if he was to fight Usyk, Tyson Fury, or any of the other guys. I know he lost to Joe Joyce in 2016, but if you look at that fight, he looked really weak in that fight. He didn't look like the confident fighter he is today. And now he got 2 gold medals. I think it was almost unfair. I think that Spanish guy deserved a gold medal because he was good enough for a gold medal. It's just that when you have Yalalov ahead of you, who's, yeah, I don't think, like, the only heavyweight in history I would probably favor against him is Lennox Lewis. Outside of Lennox, I don't think anyone beats him. That also, I'm in agreement with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he thought Lennox Lewis would beat Muhammad Ali, probably the greatest, and Lennox to be the best heavyweight of all time. And I agree with him here. I think if there's any fighter in history that I would have as a favorite against, like, no matter who the competition is Lennox Lewis. Second, I would actually have Vitaly Klitschko, but that's a different story. Yeah. So, now that we've gone through the Olympics, yeah, the women's divisions. Yeah. So, now, that's all right. Here you can see my program as well. So, let me just do like this. Here we go. Then I got, of course, this one. So, hold on a second.
Just have the podcast.
Yes, here we go. Cameraman over here. She's been doing a good job. How you doing, cameraman? She doesn't want to talk, apparently. All right. I thought we could have some fun conversations. Anyways, going over to another fight. Yeah, that would be... yeah, I'm going back on. I'm putting this one up because... And then we're doing this. So, here, Bohachuk and Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, I mean, he hit the canvas twice in this fight. He said, boom. Now, he didn't think it was a knockdown, but there you go. Look, that's a solid left hook that just lands perfectly. That is a knockdown as well. However, you see, he came back to win this fight. Very close fight. I think one judge had a draw, and 2 of them had, I think, 115, 113, something like that, 16, 12, something like that. It wasn't unfair, but very, very close. And before this fight, they were talking a lot about Virgil Ortiz versus Crawford. Now, De La Hoya was he did not seem like he was all excited for that fight. But after the fight, I don't know if that's the fight to make. Because Virgil Ortiz, I think it would be a lot more interesting to watch Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis. Those are the 2 guys that I would like to see come out, fight each other, to see who's really the best young American in the game. And then the winner would to take on Crawford. But I don't mind watching Ortiz fight Crawford right away. Let's see, we got some other... Yeah, here's knockout of the year candidate. Look at this one.
Bang! Left hook on.
Boom! Bang.
Venado Lopez.
Sorry. Boom! Look at that one. That's just out. Boom, Leo. What was his first name? You remember? Angelo Leo. He was fighting what was it? Lopez. Come on, Mexicans. How many Lopez have we got?
But only one that had the championship.
Yeah.
Was, until yesterday.
You can talk in the mic, my dear. Naha. Not all that fun. So this was a great fight. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry I'm putting up a spoiler here, but watch the fight. It's a great fight. It's a lot of fun. And I mean, it ends with a knockout like that. It was on the Golden Boy card, I think. Oh wait, was it? Yeah, it was a Golden Boy card.
No, top rank.
Yeah. Oh yeah, top rank. Sorry. Yeah, of course. That's for ESPN. Yeah, Leo, this guy, Angelo Leo, good guy. Interesting to watch him fight. Not the best fighter, but exciting fighter. He's gonna be in a lot of good fights. Let's see. Yeah, and this. Here we go. I really like this body punch. Look at this. Boom. Let's make it big here so we can watch it. Boom, boom. Look, if you go through my Instagram, I think I have this video up where you throw a light to the head. Look here. Light to the head. And here, the liver is... You see here? Oh, this is... Boom! That's nighty-night. You're not getting up from that one. Oh, that's so painful. Oh, I think most boxers has gone through that. We all been really hurt by the perfect body punch, and it's the worst. Like all the different pains in the world that I've seen, like adrenaline can take care of pretty much anything. But if you get hit to the liver, your adrenaline can't do anything for you. You're just falling down. You're collapsing. You can't breathe. You just it hurts so bad. All right, I'm gonna go through that one later. But what I liked, if we do like this now, Turki Al-Sheikh, he's got some fun plans. I'm really like, it's such a gift to get like as a boxing fan. Boxing has always disappointed its fans. Like boxing is the sport where the fans never gets what it wants almost. And then all of a sudden, we get Turki Al-Sheikh. Here you can see who, here we got Turki Al-Sheikh just having fun. Look at these two fights. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, Crawford Ortiz, maybe not the most exciting fight, but Shakur and Zapeda, that one is a great one. I'm so excited to see them fight. Zapeda is an all-action fighter, really aggressive. And Shakur, he's a defensive fighter, but he's super skilled. He might be the most skilled guy in the world today. Well, I would have him behind Crawford, but he's right up there. Like I know he spars with Crawford a lot, so like he's right up there. These are gonna be so much fun, these two fights. I'm really excited, and it's it's fun to have Turkey in the game, and also the Canelo drama with Turki Al-Sheikh. That's pretty fun, because I've been one who's been saying that Canelo has been picking his opponents a lot, especially lately since the Bivol fight. I mean, he isn't really in top fights anymore. He's fighting young contenders and young guys who are going from prospect to contender, but not the type of fighters who are where we're dying to see it. If he were to fight Morel, even though Morel didn't look all that fantastic in his last fight, Kalajdzic is a really good fighter. So if we were to fight Morel, I'd have nothing to complain about it. But when you're fighting John Ryder, Jaime Munguia, and now what's his name, Berlanga, like we didn't ask for that. The fans didn't ask for that. And then he prices himself out when His Excellency wants to make bigger fights. So yeah, that it kind of exposes Canelo, because all the things that we were claiming he was, or we were claiming, that people were claiming he was, fighting anyone, taking big risks and all these things. He didn't do that. He doesn't do that anymore. He did it as a young fighter. He lost every time he stepped up against the best, or he got a gift decision like against the first or second against Golovkin, or his fight against Erislandy Lara. I mean, that was just terrible. The Erislandy fight is, yeah, that's a really rough one. Erislandy Lara, I don't think there's anyone who had more terrible decisions against him than Erislandy Lara. The Paul Williams, how that didn't end up in a victory for Erislandy Lara, that is the most insane fight I've ever seen. But the Canelo fight, I mean, he completely embarrassed Canelo. He had full control of everything Canelo was doing, and then he just kept tagging him with the left hand. Now, he didn't punch a lot. Sometimes it was just like 3-4 occasions in the fight or in the round where he stepped in and clipped Canelo. But that was... You can look at Canelo's face afterwards. He knew who won and lost that fight. Yeah. So let's move over to my Twitter feed and see. There we go, and then we go double this one. So yeah, what else have we got? Yeah. Prime.
And now the body work from Tony.
Yeah, well, if I got the sound of something, YouTube is really hard on that one. But the picture is good. I don't know why this is. These two guys at this particular time. Now this is a knockdown. I don't really like this one because they were just playing around, and then Tony got caught. Boom. Yeah. Roy Jones at this point in time was so fast. He was so much... He looked like the Taiwanese guy fighting girls. That's the difference in reflexes and speed. Let's see. Roy Jones at this point in time, I probably think he would have beaten anyone from middleweight up to cruiserweight. James Toney, probably same thing there. There's hardly anyone that would have defeated this version of James Toney. Now, he was only eating Big Macs and sparring. That was all he was doing. But, yeah, it's still a great fight. But Roy Jones was just a little too dominant. I think he won pretty much every fight. Every round of that fight. Yeah, you can see what the boxing fans thinks of it. Yeah, let's see here. If we move down, we got Archie Moore. I thought that was pretty fun. Archie Moore, back in the day, he gets knocked down. He was one of those guys that if you know about his career, like, you gotta be full of respect. Like, this guy fought everyone and performed at such a high level for such a long time. And look at this, boom, just knocking his opponent out. Oof, this one is rough. Good one. Is he getting up? Yeah, let's see. I haven't seen this one, so this is some fun. Yeah, back in the days, this is a real beating. The referees don't stop fight. Yeah, well, the referee did a good job here. So let's see. Oh, this one. Joel Casamayor and Diego Corrales. They had a couple of really good fights. Go check them out if you got the time. These are really exciting. And Diego Corrales back in his prime, like, he had some some rough goals in his career, but he was really good. He was beating the crap out of most guys. Joel Casamayor is one of the first Cubans to really do well in the pros. Look at that. Just going back and forth. If I'm not mistaken, this fight was stopped due to like a cut in the mouth or something like that. It's very dangerous when you have a cut in the mouth and there's a lot of blood, because you can swallow that blood and that's not good for you. Let's see. Let's move forward. I don't really remember.
Give us another round. Quick question here.
Yes.
If you think there's a big difference in style between vintage boxers and modern boxers?
Yeah, a little bit. Modern boxers, they are a lot more athletic because they practice athleticism. We looked at how other sports train, especially I would say basketball, but also like strongmans, like in different sports to improve your athletic abilities in the gym and so on. And that has made the boxing more athletic. If you look at old school boxing, what old school training looked like was mainly drill fundamentals, punch the bag, and then you spar. That's pretty much it. That's what they did. And running, of course. So they were sparring themselves to become good. They were sparring each other constantly. And that's why if you look at James Toney, he's a typical old school fighter in the modern era. He ate McDonald's and he sparred. And you can see that in his style. He got like this timing, he got this movement. Like he could fight pretty much anyone up until he fought Roy Jones, who were the absolute opposite, who are a super athletic fighter with amazing skills, talents, feeling, ability. Like Roy Jones had the whole package, but he really had the speed and athletic ability that James Toney could not compete with. Bernard Hopkins did compete much better with Roy Jones. That fight, their first fight, was really, really close. But Roy Jones edged that one, I think like 115, 113. I think it was actually a split decision. But neither man was famous at the time, so no one really cares about that fight. So yeah, you can actually take a look at James Toney and where did it go? Where the hell did it go? I had it here. There we go. This fight, Roy Jones and James Toney, that's a typical example of an old school fighter against a new school fighter. But the new school fighter was absolutely absurd. And there's been a lot of steroids in boxing. A lot of steroids. But who cared? We got good fights. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Moving down here. Yes, here we go. Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. This might be one of the most famous fights in history. I mean, this was such... At this point in time, Tommy Hearns was ahead, and he had Leonard in all kinds of problems. And then you had the classical Angelo Dundee saying to Leonard in the corner, "Oh, look at that body punch, that hurt so much." Angelo Dundee told him, "You're blowing it, son. You're blowing it." And then, yeah, he came out and did this. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I have Sugar Ray Leonard in my top 5 of all time best boxers. And here we go, prime. Oh, actually, this was just when Pacquiao was bursting onto the scene against Barrera. At this point in time, no one knew who Manny Pacquiao was. I had seen him on the undercard of Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis, where he fought a guy like Julio, I think his name was, something like that. And he just blew that guy out. And the other guy was the favorite. So I was like, okay, that's a real guy. But Marco Antonio Barrera, like that's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time. I really thought that Barrera would not really have much of a problem in this one. And then he just beats him to the point where his corner just jumps in and just saves Barrera from taking more of a beating. Look at this. This is a guy who was like obliterating people. Like he was beating everyone up. And the guy's like Eric Morales. I mean, look at that. That's rough. And here his corner is jumping into the ring. So that was the start of Manny Pacquiao's great career. Like he had won titles up until that point, but that was in lower weight classes and against fighters that no one really cared about. See what else have I got there? Yeah, Eric Morales then. Oh, that right hand to body. That is one of my favorite punches. Straight right hand to the body. Boom! You see Zaragoza. His body just folds. Boom! And yep, that's it. Look at it. Boom! It feels like his guts are just shooting out on the backside of his body. These are... this is what I love. And this is a fight that you all should go home and watch. Juan Manuel Marquez fighting Juan Diaz. This was back and forth. But, Juan Manuel Marquez eventually edged it out. Marquez had a lot of tough fights. Marquez didn't have very good footwork, and he pretty much just fought his opponent wherever his opponent wanted to fight. And look at this uppercut here. Boom! Oh, it's so beautiful. Marquez was fighting pretty much anyone at whatever distance the opponent wanted to fight at. So he has a lot of losses that really against nobody's. Because you can see here, he was just in here trading at Juan Diaz distance. But fortunately for Marquez, he's so good that he could beat Diaz here. But yeah, I actually think Nacho Beristain is not a very good trainer. I think he's a good technical trainer, but I think he got terrible strategy. Sorry to all the Mexicans out there, because I know you love your Nacho, but yeah, I never thought he was good at game planning, and he was also manager and cut manning, which he was terrible at. Juan Manuel Marquez fought, this is a fun story, he was going to fight a rematch with Pacquiao after their first draw. And he was guaranteed something like $250,000 or $750,000. I don't know exact numbers. Instead, Nacho Beristain said, that's unfair. We want more money. We're now going to Indonesia to fight Chris John for $25,000. And they lost. Yeah. Terrible management. Oh, and I gotta show you this one. This is one of my favorite left hooks of all time. Boom! Look at that one. Look here. Victor Shinyan coming in. He's a southpaw. Rushing in, and Nonito Donaire just boom! Slips and throw the left hook at the same time. Yeah. You're not recovering from it. Look at him. And he was so tough. Victor Shinyan was so tough. Let us see. Do we have no replay? Ah. That's too bad. So we'll get a replay. And yeah, this one. Puerto Rico in the house.
Stop it, 3 shots. This guy will catch.
Miguel Cotto, look at him. This is against Ricardo Torres. Ricardo Torres was a tough Colombian fighter who really could crack. And this is the end. I was hoping to see more highlights of the fight, because this one went back and forth, and he had Cotto in all kinds of troubles. By the way, there is an interview out on YouTube where you got Paulie Malignaggi, Miguel Cotto, and Sab Judah talking boxing and talking their old fights with Doug Fisher and someone else great. I would encourage all young boxers to go look at that interview, because they tell you a lot of truth, but also it's very inspiring, and you get excited to want to give it your best. And yeah, here we go. Oh, this one now. This might be my biggest boxing conspiracy. Right away, when Kovalev and Canelo, when that fight was announced, I noticed that Kovalev was a big underdog. And I thought, that's insane. So I placed some money on him. And then I was die hard watching everything about this fight. And I noticed that up until this point, Kovalev, he's a terrible human being. He's cocky, he's arrogant, he's a prick, he wants to hurt you. He killed a man in the ring. He's he's really not a nice guy. He's very aggressive, very impolite, and all of a sudden, this fight, all the pre-talk and everything, Kovalev was just praising Canelo, saying he's a great champ and he's so happy for the opportunity and so on. And up until that point, every opponent that Kovalev has had, he said, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. He's so aggressive. And then he was just like weird. So I started to think, is he gonna throw this fight? I got really worried. So then the fight comes. And one of the things you can notice, look at here how he's moving. He's just moving around like a sparring match. The whole fight, he moves around like a sparring fight. He's not trying to hit hard at all. But then he probably realizes this is going too well. I gotta get knocked out. So, okay, I've done a lot of bachelor parties. When you're pretending to get knocked down, you want to take a punch to the glove and then take wobbly steps. That is the easiest way, and then just pretend to get caught by something big. But in reality, you're just pretending to be hurt and laying down. Look at here how he's looking to get knocked down at first. Look here. Boom, that one. And look, he's sort of trying to take a wrong step, but then he realizes, okay, I'm not hurt at all. Because Kovalev has a good chin. He had never been, I don't think he's been knocked down up until this point. So then here comes, all right. First we go here. All right. Twitter, come on now. What's going on here, Twitter? See if we keep it on the small. Nah. All right. I can't deal with this. Cameraman is really happy in the background here. Let's see. Here we are. So, look here. Then he gets like, he's flying. And then Canelo throws that last punch with no body behind it. Here you see. There, he's taking so many crazy steps. Here, he just throws it right away. He's already in, he got the hip already here. Yeah, Twitter, do better. Yeah, cameraman think this is really funny. Yeah, sorry guys, Twitter is not doing well over here. Wait, here, did we go too long here? Now I lost it. All right, that's great. Great, Twitter. Nah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so here look at when he gets knocked down. The referee doesn't even count. Look, he's just waving up because he's so hurt. Look at how he's... I'm so hurt. Then, about 2 minutes later, the I think it's, I don't know which one was showing this, if it's HBO, but whoever was interviewing them, they had an interview with Kovalev, and he talked perfectly. Let me tell you, if you get knocked down, so the referee doesn't even count, you're flat out. You have no recollection of what just happened. He spoke perfectly. He praised Canelo. And after this fight, he did not fight. He did not have a fight scheduled for 2 years. I think Las Vegas found out about this, but they could not. Now, this is all my theory. This is no proof. I think Las Vegas said, you get a 2-year suspension, but we can't make this public because, that would look too bad, because this was a huge fight. So I really think Kovalev was taking a dive here. Yeah, you be the judge. And I would encourage you to not just look at this knockout, but actually look at the whole fight, the build-up, and the interviews after. And you'll probably come to the same conclusions that I am. Anyways, we've been going now for quite some time. So, do we have any other questions, cameraman? Nothing? All right, then I hope you guys enjoy this this live broadcast. We're doing our best to get better at it, and maybe one day cameraman over here likes to speak a little bit more, because she actually knows boxing very well. She's from Puerto Rico, and I know she has a lot to contribute here, but she's very uncomfortable talking in the mic. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everyone, and I hope to see you soon. And